Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends, and another special feeding episode. This time we're going to be feeding somebody that I picked up in the previous team race. It's not the one I wanted, but, you know, it's a legendary. It might be alright, so let's check him out. This, of course, is Virtue. He's got a lock rune slot, but he's got two open ones, so we're going to not hold that against him. Anyway, he's Earth, he's a legendary. And let's see what he's got. Alright, let's go to put him... No, dude! Virtue! It's in the name! Really? Seriously? Is there a spot around here? I guess we're going to find a place over here. Okay, yeah, I guess it's just like, it's just a name then, right? Okay, that was interesting. Pretty destructive looking, so let's see how it works out for him. Alright, so let's see. Where is he? He's hiding in there somewhere. Okay, this is Cell. Doesn't look like Cell, but he's a Cell. We'll find something other name for him. We'll find another name for him. Anyway, he is, again, he's a legendary. He's Earth. He seems to be immune to stun, which is always a good thing, and fairly common among Earth creatures. Earth monsters have a tendency to be tanky, shieldy, health buffing, that kind of thing. They also seem to stun. They also usually immune to stun, and they like to stun too. So we'll probably see stuff like that from him. But who knows? Maybe he's different. Anyway, his power is a bit better than his speed. His life is really interesting. That's a fairly large number. Should be interesting to see what he is at 60. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, let's just trip over to the skills for a moment. Okay, shield hit, low physical. Okay, furry horns. Alright, furry horns, low earth. And of course, what we saw, flying bull. Alright, let's see. Deals massive earth damage to all enemies, may stun all targets. That's a pretty good one. There are a couple of generals who wish they had one that good. You know what I mean? Alright, so what do we got here? Virtue has the might and fortitude to cause ripples throughout the galaxy. But it is his kindness that makes him special. He prefers to stand at the celestial gates, not as a warrior, but as a watchful guardian. Then what were you trying to slip into the ladies' island for there, dude? You know what I mean? Okay, we all saw that, dude. We all saw that. Okay, so let's get him up to his second evolution. And of course, we'll have to do that by feeding him to level 4. Okay. The horns are bigger. The shield that's got that nice magnificent cape. Is that feathers? Is that made? Okay. Could you come back for a minute? Okay. He lands softly too. He lands softly too. Alright, so we're going to start checking out some skills, because that's why we're here. So we're just open wide, dude, because we're going to feed you. Level 7. Horned Push. Deals moderate earth damage, 50% chance of stunning. It's like I said. Earth likes to stun. They like to stun, they like to daze, they like to shield. So we'll see if there's anything interesting. There might be some kind of interesting mechanic along with this guy. We'll see. We ain't keeping this one, though. It's a 50% chance, right? Okay, so let's get to level 10. It's a quick trip. Thesis Rival. Deals moderate special damage, destroys target shield. Oh, he breaks shields. But it's not such a bad hit for early on anyway. Moderate special damage, no cooldown. Okay. Shield breaking can be interesting, especially if he's going to be going against other Earth creatures. Okay, so let's continue to level 15. Heroic Bull. Deals moderate special damage, gains a 20% shield. Yeah, right. This is it. He shields too. He shields too. Okay, so we're obviously not keeping that. We're going to throw it in for furry horns. Because 20%, man, it's a 2-round cooldown. I'm sure he's going to get better. I'm sure he's going to get better. They always get better. With a couple of notable exceptions. Yeah, I'm thinking about Hey-Man. Alright, so let's go to level 20. Closing in on that third evolution. Cretin Bull. Deals moderate special damage, gains a 20% shield. Okay, that's the same as the last one, only it's a 1-round cooldown. Okay. Okay, it's a little bit more damage. Obviously, there's no reason to keep the previous one, right? I mean, they don't stack or anything like that, so... And it's a 1-round cooldown. It lasts for 2 rounds, so... Well, it's a little bit better. I guess maybe if the previous one had been indicated as low, it would be more interesting. But the new one does do more damage. Alright, so let's go to his final evolution and his next skill, which is going to happen at 25. Horned Blow. Deals moderate earth damage, may daze target. Okay, so, like I said, stunning and dazing. Let's take a quick look here. Well, I ain't keeping that, because it's a 50% chance. I'd rather have a 100% chance at daze. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Moderate earth damage. That gauge is like on the high end of high damage. Okay, are the gauges messed up? Or is the text messed up? Alright, well, you know what? I'm not keeping another one anyway, like I said. Okay, there he is! He's bigger, he's bulkier! And those horns are really long now. But he can still jump in the air! And land softly. Alrighty. Let's go to level 30. Okay, so which is broken, the text or the, Heracles Slayer. Deals moderate special damage, removes and blocks any shields applied to target. So what I was about to say. Which is broken then, the gauges or the text? Because once again, this says moderate special damage, but the gauge is showing clearly the upper end of high. One of them's broken. If the gauges are right, then these are high damage attacks. I guess testing is the only way to do it, right? Alright, so let's take a look at this one. I'm thinking that this one right here, it goes in for this one, because this one was doing the same thing. Only this one has a 1-round cooldown, but this one has a 0, this one has a 1. But, you know, that's not such a big deal when you have a couple that are 1 that you're probably going to end up keeping. Okay. Okay, so he shields and he breaks shields, and at the moment he dazes. Okay. Alright, so let's go to level 35. Minos Protection. Heals by 30%. Gains a 30% shield. 1 ally. Okay. I don't know if that is a self-buff. Frequently, things that are self-buffs say 1 ally. I am going to guess that this is a self-buff. The question is, what do I want to get rid of? I think at the moment I'm getting rid of this one. You know, daze is okay, but it's not a stun. And this one over here does the same damage anyway. Mind you, we don't have anybody who does earth damage, but maybe that first slot. I don't want to put this one in the first slot because I have a feeling I might keep it. I don't know yet. And this one, there's got to be an upgrade for that one. It's got to be an upgrade. If it was a stun, I'd keep it, but it's not. So I'm not. Okay, so let's go on to level 40. Maybe we'll get that stun. Hornet Charge deals very heavy earth damage. May stun. I'm going to put that in the first slot. Basically, I'm going to need a skill now that's going to knock one of them out. You know, I think that we probably have a lot of his functionality. We might get upgrades. I haven't seen anything that looks like a group attack, so I am beginning to think he doesn't have one. I'm thinking we might just see upgrades from here. So let's see if I'm right. As we get to level 45. Deals moderate attack. Okay, that's the one we got rid of before. That's got the daze. That's got the daze. Alright, let's go to level 50. Gilgamesh Executioner. Deals low special damage to all enemies, removes all shields. Let's take a quick look around. You know, I think this is the odd man out at the moment. I really do. I think this is the odd man out. Because this one here heals and gets a shield, right? Self-shield, right? This one here is a really big hit that blocks individuals from having shields. And this one here is a very heavy hit that stuns, and it's got a 1-round cooldown. This one here, I think I want to keep this one. This could be very useful, especially if the other team has someone who's notorious for healing, like General Atom, because he puts big shields on. Big shields. Like, I believe it's double the health. This one is the odd man out at the moment, because you don't need the mini shield anymore. So I am going to put that one there. So we got 2 more shots, but it wouldn't surprise me if we've seen everything. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Alright, let's go to level 55. Okay, like I said, we've seen that one before. And finally, level 60. Yeah, right, they really want me to take that one, but no thanks. I'll take the stun every day. Alright, so let's go over here. His health is pretty meaty. He's got some good health. Power and speed are similar, but he's got a little bit more on the power, which points to him not being as much a damage dealer. Kind of what his skills show. The text, that is. This is somebody who's really going to need some testing, because, like I said, the gauges say one thing and the text says something else. And in this case, I'm thinking the text might be right, because he's a shielder, he's a stunner, and he had the daze. He's a typical Earth one. Earth monsters generally are not damage dealers. They're usually supporty, stunny, shieldy type of thing. And he does seem to show that, even though he doesn't really shield others. I'm guessing that skill, this one here, is only self-only. So I'm guessing that's kind of it. I'd be surprised if it was usable. Anyway, let's take a look at his final skills. These are skills I selected. Not necessarily the order I would have wanted them in, but I don't really think it matters. This one healed. Okay, we'll talk about the skulls. All right, we got the first one. Horned Charge. Deals heavy earth damage, may stun target, and it's got a 1-round cooldown. It's a pretty good skill. Very heavy damage there, and obviously, in this case, the gauge is actually right. It's into the very heavy area. So in this case, the gauge is right in indication. And this is his only earth attack, the only one I've taken, of course. But this is the only earth, but it's a really good one. So if someone is vulnerable to earth attacks, this one's going to do a lot of damage. All right. So anyway, let's go over this. Gilgamesh Executioner. Deals low special damage to all enemies, removes all shields. Now, see, this is not something that I want happening immediately with his first attack. This is something that's situational, because it's going to remove shields. Well, if they're not wearing shields, it's just a low damage attack, despite what the gauge says. The gauge says medium moderate. This is a good one. I mean, depending on who your opponents. I would say this guy would be useful in heavy earth war encounters. Like recently we had one with 2 earth spots. This guy would be useful because he would just get rid of the shields, which is pretty darn useful, actually. Especially he's got another skill. We're going to skip to the 4th one for a second here. This is Heracles Slayer. Deals moderate special damage, removes and blocks any shield applied to the target. So you can make somebody, you can take their shield away and make it for 3 turns that they can't get a shield back. That's very useful in some cases. Very, very useful in some cases. And the 3rd one here is a buff. A heal buff. Basically, it heals him for 30%. And with a big health, which it looks like he's going to have, that's a good heal. And it also shields by 30%. So he's going to get a good chunk of health right there. Some of it in the form of a shield. Health is definitely something to consider for this guy. I would say I only have 2 slots open, but if I had a full 3 open, you figure damage, health, maybe stamina? I mean, the thing about it is he's got a heal, so he can keep going for a while there, you know? And he's got the shield on. While he's shielded, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We could see about that. There's a lot of ways you could go. I just don't think you would do speed with him. You could if you wanted to. I don't see an advantage to it. Depending on what happens with these skills and how much these values actually are, I think this one is right. This one, I can't see that one being right. But you never know in terms of the gauge, because it says low special. This one, okay, that's a buff. This one here, this one says moderate, and that is very close to very heavy. That's on the high end of high damage, so I don't know what's going on with that one. I mean, look, this one in terms of the gauge is not very far off what they call very heavy. This one says moderate, though. So I'd want to see damage values for this to see actually what's going on. I think the gauges might be messed up in some cases. I think this one's right, not so much the other ones. Anyway, this is Virtue. He seems to be your basically typical Earth guy with the addition of being able to break shields. He's also got a self-heal and a self-shield, which doesn't have an attack to it. But they can be useful if you're going to be continuing for a long fight. So anyway, like I said, this is Virtue, and we're going to be tussling with him, not in the next group, but sometime in the near future. Should be interesting. I definitely want to see what these attacks do when we're actually in battle. So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See ya!